Hi, this is Bruce and Bull. I hail Carib-Sport. For those of you who have been subscribing and tuning in, thank you very much. Click like, share, subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe. Okay, Dwight Yorke has just named a provisional team. I counted. It looks like it's about 35 names. A bit of a few surprises here and there, which we would have expected. Everybody can't be happy. Everybody can't agree. And well, let's discuss this 35. Making sure I don't get disconnected. Having technical problems these days. Let's begin with Deron Payne. Deron Payne, who plays with Volendam in the Dutch First Division. We've been talking about him. He comes from a football family. He's played over 44 games in the last few years for this team. He scored one goal in his professional life, but a good player from a good team from a quality division, a quality league. And welcome to Trinidad Tobago, Deron Payne. We are bringing the pain in Port of Spain. All right, all right. A bit of a surprise for me. Greg Ranjitsingh, the goalkeeper from Canada, who plays presently with New York FC. Mixed feelings about this one. A few years back, I thought Greg was a bit unfortunate. He wasn't getting selected despite being with a few MLS teams and so on. They weren't treating him right, and that was partly because they weren't treating him right. We didn't have a lot of football in Trinidad, and then we had COVID-19. Just a few days back, I thought Ranjitsingh was finished with Trinidad Tobago football simply because we have so many good goalkeepers now, and despite him being an alternate for New York FC, and bam, there he is. One of the four goalkeepers named. Let's look at a little something about Greg Ranjitsingh, okay? In the last 6 years, he's played for nine clubs, eight MLS teams, and excuse me, eight MLS teams and the Toronto FC second 11. 9 games he has played in the MLS and eight with Toronto FC second 11. That is 17 games in 6 years. So he has not played a proliferation of football, which may not be your fault when you're an alternate goalkeeper, but you think he'd be playing with the second team or something, or getting a little more football. So a little surprising that Dwight has selected him ahead of Aaron Enel, who is arguably the finest goalkeeper in the Caribbean and playing in Jamaica. You've got the two goalkeepers for Defence Force who are both quite good. As we're talking goalkeepers, who are they? Marvin Phillip, Denzel Smith, who's in the US, Jabari Bryce, and of course Greg Ranjitsingh. I think Marvin Phillip is a little lucky. He's 41, he's playing well, but these younger guys play as well as he does. Some of them might even be marginally better. But such is the depth of TNT goalkeepers today that I can be surprised that Greg Ranjitsingh has been selected, despite his quality. And Waka, he got a little lucky, but he's been unlucky in the past. And Aaron NL continues to be unlucky. Then let's look at Jiren Jackie. He's a defender, I believe central defender. Didn't know much about him. Heard he was a big deal in the SSFL. He was playing district football in Portugal for a few years, which is outside the four divisions. And then recently got included in the fourth tier Serie C. He is presently with Govaya, and he just came over from another team called Mortagua, both in the Serie C. So from Mortagua to Govaya. Mortagua finished about mid-level in their division last year. Um, his present club, Govaya, is second to last, but the season just started, so a lot of football left. I don't know much about Jiren Jackie, saw the videos on YouTube. Strong guy, tackles well, distributes well. But fourth tier of Portugal, you have to wonder what he can do at the national level. I guess the training sessions will give us an indication. Then I come to Dwayne Mucket. You know, I counted 3 times, 35 players called, 35, and you couldn't find room for Dwayne Mucket. Dwayne Mucket is a wonderful midfielder, distributes well, shoots well from the outside, good free kicks. He's played in Oman. Granted, the crowds are not very big. With the few videos I have seen, I don't know what's going on in Oman, but I want to know. Oman can't be worse than TTPFL. How did Dwayne Mucket not make a 35-man squad? Maybe there's a reason, and they don't want to tell us. Flight too long? I mean, what's going on, right? Tough luck, Dwayne Mucket. Joevin Jones, again, this is a mild surprise considering it was a 35-man squad. I believe that Joevin Jones and Kevin Molino are not the players they once were. Having said that, they are still contributing and they're amongst the best that we have. I believe that Joevin, playing on the left, playing in midfield, can support Levi Garcia well, and at times even playing up front with Levi Garcia, just to give the opposition something to think about. I don't think that's his best position up front, but we don't really have a lot of versatility or depth up front, and Joevin has supported well in the past in the midfield area. So a little surprised there about Joevin not there. Dante Gilbert. Um, well, Dante is not really playing with regularly with a team. He is reports say training with Alkmaar second 11, and Dwight did say he want people playing regular football. All right, so that might be the reason there. Um, Malik Khan was not selected. I guess if he's not on a 35 man squad, that's a mild surprise. But you know, when I saw Malik play for Trinidad, he wasn't. amazing. He wasn't bad, he just wasn't amazing. And we want people who can stand out, people who can, like, spice up. Um, we call Dante Sealy, Andre Raymond. Stand up, look like they really belong playing international football, not just good enough to make a Trinidad team. I'm not knocking the guy, he's one of the best we have, and I'm sure he works very hard. If you saw the videos, it's a little curious. He is playing in the Slovakian First Division. Wikipedia says AC Trench is the name of the team. Forgive my pronunciation because that little C is funny. I don't know how to pronounce it. AC Trench. Wikipedia says the team crowd capacity is 10,000 at their stadium. One video I saw where he scored a beautiful goal. The crowd was blurred out. Four defenders in front of him. Goalkeeper had the position covered. He shot it through them and scored. Wonderful. Recently, he scored a hat trick. Look at that video and tell me what's going on. This pitch is in the middle of the countryside with no walls. Beautiful countryside. In fact, I got distracted from the football watching the beautiful countryside. Think of the sound of music and you'll understand the countryside. No walls, just some rails around, like police barriers, and people leaning up on the rails watching football. I am wondering what level of football really goes on in Slovakia, that this is first division football. All right. So yeah, again, so the fact that Malik Khan is performing is nice, but you have to wonder what level of football he's playing that he's performing at to get him ready for the national side. Auvray or Kylie, forgive my pronunciation again. This is a talented player. He was out recently. I don't know if it was a lack of form or what. Playing in Jamaica, and now he's with Columbus Crew's second 11. On his day, a very gifted guy, like John Paul Rushford, like Real Gill, a lack of size and strength has held him back. And I hope in the last 2 years he has strengthened himself up. If you can't get big, at least get strong. Because on his day, he's a gifted guy and he can give a defense problems. He's a very nice player to watch. Ex USA under 20 player, and I believe he played for France at under 17 or so. All right, so this is a guy with some degree of quality. He just needs to bulk up or get strong. Aubrey David, a little unlucky. Aubrey David is playing with CST Municipal in Guatemala. They came second in the most recent season. This club is one of the better clubs in Guatemalan football history, maybe even the number one club. Yes, he's 35, but he's a big, solid central defender. We are weak in that area. Unless he's injured or not playing regular football, I can't understand why he wasn't there. Again, very unlucky. Um, unless there's something we don't know. So sorry to see, Aubrey. Don't let 35 hurt you, all right? Canada's best defender at the World Cup was a guy called, I think, Atiba Hutchinson. He was 36, and the year before he won the league with Besiktas in Turkey. One of the best defenders at the 1990 World Cup was a 38-year-old by the name of Roger Miller from Cameroon. So don't let the 35 Mamagaya. So Aubrey David, a little surprised that he wasn't there. And finally, John Paul Rashford and Rion Moore. Not done his squad. Rion Mo, I'm not surprised since he has come back from Canada. He has not been the same player. A little surprised he even got a contract or a trial in Vietnam. But if he ever regains his form, he's a wonderful guy to come off the bench, strong, fast, shoots from the outside. But he hasn't been the same, and they've given him chances with Defence Force and Trinidad and Tobago. John Paul Rushford, I always believe, is amongst the most skillful player in Trinidad and Tobago. Perhaps only Levi Garcia has the edge on him. They play different positions. And in the TNT league, nobody more skillful than him. Not even when Muckett was there or Real Gill was there. And John Paul, ever since the break in the TNT league in mid-season, when he came back, he hasn't been the same. Even when people think that he's playing well, I know he can play at a higher level. His dribbling, his distribution, his shooting from the outside, his free kicks. It is not the John Paul Rushford that we know. And I don't know what has happened, and I certainly hope we can find his old form. Yes, his lack of size and strength continues to be a problem for him, but John Paul, skill for skill, is a great player on his day. And if you can't, as I said, just go to the gym and get physically strong, and hopefully they'll work out for you. So I hope these two players can make a comeback at some point because they're good on their day. They are good. John Paul is amazing to look at, and I think he would have gallery a bit against Curacao and Bermuda. Um, because they are smaller players. Again, I keep saying Jim, because I don't know what the hell else to say for these fellas who's so small, right? So let me just conclude by saying this fella, Ranjitsingh, got a bit lucky, but he's a quality player. Having said that, I feel a little sad for Aaron NL. I wish him the best, and I hope one day he will go to a bigger league because he's too good for where he is. And Of course, he will come to the Trinidad Tobago team. I hope that for him as well. Years ago, I pointed out, and I said he was too good for Trinidad, too good to be a defense force alternate. He went to Present's first game, his team lost, and he was man of the match. So good was his goalkeeping, and within months he was in Jamaica. So I wish him the best. Mucket, I don't know what to say. I don't know if you cuss somebody, take a man, woman. I know what's going on. Why they treating you so? Tough luck, Mucket. But this is the team we have. The coach does not have a lot of time, and my boy Deron Payne must just have a few days to acclimatize. Very curious, along with Garcia, who will play in the central back position. Alvin Jones will not be there for the first game due to suspension. Um, and let's face it, the Curacao game is a warm up for the Jamaican game a few days later. We must get 3 points against Curacao. Fingers crossed. God bless Dwight Yorke. God bless Trinidad Tobago. God bless me.